Okay guys, Nick from Fly on the Ball Bike Builds coming at you from Strictly E-Bikes in Old Town Alexandria. Today we're going to build an Aventon Soltera, okay? Let's see how easy it actually is. Okay, you can open the box like that, but look what they've done for us. They've put these little plastic things in the bottom of the box here, and we're just going to pull these out. I use the back of the handle like that. And there's 4 of them, 1 on each corner. Just pick the box up by the corner, pull it off. We'll slide it over here, use it as our trash can, okay? Pull the seat post up. And the seat post isn't very tight the way it comes, so I come in and I torque it down a little bit tighter since I'm putting it in this bike stand here. Nice and tight, okay? Drag it on over, slide it in our stand. Once I get it in there, I lift it up and I tighten it back down again. And again, guys, if you don't have a stand at home, your objective is to get the front wheel on and hold it up with the kickstand. Once you get the front wheel on, it'll be a little bit easier for you. You can do the rest of your install. And we're a working bike shop here, so we got customers coming in and out. That's why I'm lucky enough to have this bike stand here. I just want to cut all these zip ties off and remove this front wheel. Takes a couple minutes to unpack the bike, but that's okay. You're looking for damage when you're taking it apart. Just set that aside. Drop our handlebars down. Okay, just keep pulling it off. Looking at your bike. Everything's looking really good. No damage so far. Now when I see damage, I usually see this paper ripped where the axle to the front wheel was once anchored to this bike, and then it scratches it during shipping. And then I see the chain ring is sometimes bent, or the back wheel. Those are the things I usually see if there's shipping damage. Aventon bikes are packed really well, they're shipped well, and I usually don't have any problem with those. Alright, we're just about unpacked here. Alright, let's look for our parts box here. It's all the way down in this corner at the bottom. Okay. I'll usually set up something right here. Alright, here's our parts box right here. So we just have some directions in here. Pack of stickers. We're looking for our pedals. I'll set those here. Got a nice multi-tool. Your standard reflectors. We're absolutely going to put these on. Pedals. Dig way down at the bottom and get your headlight out. Okay. And your charger is below here. They've also thrown in a pack of grease and a pedal wrench that looks like that. Okay. Now take everything out I want, then I just neatly put it back together. It's going to be one of the first things the customer sees when they open it up. And we'll just set it aside. Okay. That's everything you need to put this bike together. Really simple. We're going to start out at the front. Just want to take this cap off the stem. 4 quick bolts. Okay, our stem is twisted backwards, so we're just going to loosen these back up. They did that for shipping purposes. Doesn't have to be perfectly straight. We'll come back to that anyway. Okay. Handlebars, you're going to have to twist them one way or another. Okay. They naturally fit like this. You want to bend that display and just twist it back. It's almost in position now. Okay. Make sure your wires and cables aren't in the way. I just hold it with my thumb. Just try to feed one of your bolts in. Okay. I usually try with the top left because that's the easiest one to access. Okay. Get that started. Go to the opposite corner. So go to your lower right. Then we're going to tighten it down in that crisscross pattern too. Eventually, I'm going to twist this up. There's marks on the stem and there's marks on your handlebars, okay? Kind of line that up. I'm just going to snug it down a little bit. I'll come back for the final adjustment once I get my wheel on and it's down on the ground. Okay, since we're right here, we're going to start on the headlight. Just pull your fastener. Headlight goes with the bracket facing up. Sometimes you got to squeeze it in there a little bit and put your screw in. Has to be tight enough it doesn't droop down, but loose enough where somebody can adjust it a little bit, just like that. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna knock this little piece of plastic out right here. That's part of your packing to protect the forks. I just use something plastic that's not going to scratch my frame. Okay. There's a little clip on the brakes. Okay. I'm going to pull that out. Use my big flathead screwdriver and I'm just going to stick it in there a little bit. Just trying to spread it out a hair. Not a lot, just a little bit. Okay. All right, the front wheel, I'm going to back the axle nuts almost like just barely hanging on. Spread the washer out. Watch your brake rotor. Okay, we're going to snug it and I'm going to let it back down. All right, I like to tighten the front wheel with the bike on the ground because that's the way the brakes are set, and you're going to have your best luck without adjusting them. But even then, that's a great starting point for adjusting your brake. I see it's probably going to rub a little bit, but that's normal. We're going to come back and adjust that. Let's see how it is. So it looks like it's it's in adjustment. Everything looks good. Looks like the rotor is bent a hair, and we're going to come back and fix that. That's easy. I see that a lot on the front wheels, okay? So I'm going to line this display up, start adjusting the handlebar out. So it looked good, but once I put it together, I decided I'm going to roll the handlebars out a little bit. It just seems like a better adjustment for everybody. Okay, I'm retightening in a crisscross pattern. Putting my tool in this piece of pipe here, just for a little added leverage. Okay, that feels real good. Okay, start straightening this, and we're going to set the stem, make sure your handlebars and everything are aligned with the front wheel. I think that's looking pretty good. And before you tighten up your stem, it's a good time to tighten up this top cap here on your headset. Okay, snug that down just a little bit. Make sure your handlebars and stem are still aligned with your front wheel. Looking good. We'll finish that off. Okay. We're done up front other than the wiring. Got a little bit of wiring to do. We'll come back to that. Alright, pedals are really easy too. It's got two stickers on it, L and R. Okay. Just going to set it on here, crank it backwards. Okay. Put your pedal wrench on. Keep cranking it backwards. And tightens up. About 1/8 of a turn more. This one I slide the wrench on the pedal. Hold it with my 2 fingers and start cranking it backwards. Sometimes it doesn't catch right away until it lines up. Now you got it. Okay, it stopped. Put on your 1/4 turn. That's probably 1/8 of a turn, if that. Okay. Get some packing on the back axle. Take that off. Put your rubber cap on. That protects it. Okay. Air up the tires. These are Prestas, so you take the cap off and open up the end valve to let the air in. Valve's open. You've also got a washer right here. You can tighten that once you fill it full of air. It'll lift up and then we'll tighten it down. And I'll show you how it's done right now. Fill it full of air. Little skinny tire here. Fill it to the recommended level. And on this bike, I'll run the front wheel maybe 5 pounds lighter than the back. We'll stop it from bouncing like a basketball, okay? I'm going to close the valve, put the cap back on, and also hit that washer again. Close it down nice and tight. Tighten that washer up. All right, now we're going to start adjusting the brake. Okay, I see a bend in the front rotor. I'm going to use 2 tools to straighten it, and I'm going to use a paint pen. A magic marker will work, a Sharpie, anything like that. I'm going to run around until I find the bend in it. It's probably right there, okay? Mark the caliper where it starts and where it lifts off. Okay. Take my park rotor tool here. And also when you see the reflector and you're listening for where it rubs and the position of your reflector. So I know it's rubbing about right there. I compare it to my marks. They're pretty much dead on, okay? I'm just going to bend this out just a little bit. Okay, let's try again. Lower you come down on the rotor, the better. There you go. It's still bent a little bit, but it's not rubbing and touching. Okay, our brake performance is still there. Let's pump it up. Still touching a little once I pump it up, so I'm going to bend it a little bit more. Bring it until it touches. Bend it out a little bit. There we go. Nice. Okay, let's check the back. See what we got on the back brake. Alright, it's not touching. Pump it up 3 or 4 times. Do that. Okay, it's not touching. Okay, we can put our brake tool away for now. Let's go through the shift points real quick. We'll go all the way down. Climb up 1 gear at a time. It's not struggling at all. In fact, it's working perfect. Okay, I'm going to leave it in the middle gear so it's easy to take upstairs. Okay, we got to start hooking up these cables right here. This is where I need my glasses now. I'm going to start pulling these cables. They're all the way in on this side. Okay, so we can start pulling them out. The light is this little tiny one. The two arrows together. Push the rest of the cable back in. Doesn't need but maybe a little bit of slack. Bend it like an S like this. Okay. We got our brake and our throttle left. Okay. Okay, this one has a black line and a black arrow. You've really got to hit it till it clicks. Push it really hard with both hands. Okay, that's clicked in. And we've got our display here. This is an arrow on one side, and a white line on the other. Push it real hard till you hear it click. Okay. So you can clean up the wire, push in some of the extra. It's already looking pretty good. Some little pieces of wire loom, we can just cut that. Maybe there's a little ring, so I usually cut maybe 3 or 4. I can bring these wires together. I mean, some people use zip ties. Zip ties work too. Don't be one of those guys that puts a million zip ties to make their wiring all neat and now their brakes don't work because they put too many zip ties on it. Just try to twist it around there. I like this kind. I like something a little bit bigger. All right, let's try this size here. It's the little things you do during your bike build towards the end that make it a better build, you know, like test riding it, readjusting things, finding things you don't like and fixing it right then. It's little tiny things, you know. Okay, makes it look nice and neat now. We'll put on our front reflector since we're up here. Snap that together. Now on these there's a little nut, so I hold it with my finger right here when I back the screw out. Put it on the left side. Okay, looking good. And when you tighten up your display, don't make it really tight. Just snug it down. That way you can adjust it a little bit. Have it aim back towards you. Okay, that's looking good. There's a little parts bag, and I want to take the cap off out of it. This goes on the back axle to match the other side. Okay, just push that on there with your hand. Finish it with your palm. You're done. Okay, the bike's looking good. Everything's adjusted. All your parts are on. Do this back reflector here real quick. The reflector is a safety feature, and I put everything in that comes with the bike on the bike. If it comes with a toolkit, make sure they get the toolkit. Make sure they get their charger. Make sure they get their keys. The keys are usually zip tied right to the front harness. All right. Since it's adjusted, we can take it out of our stand. I'm just going to lift this all the way up. Okay, align it with the bottom of the seat. Pull this packing off here. And try not to touch the seat too much after building a bike, because you'll have grease all over your hands and it'll absorb into the seat, and you think you can wipe it off with alcohol and everything, but a lot of it stays there. Okay. So when I adjust it, I grab it by the seat post instead of the seat itself. I straighten it, adjust it down low. It's ready to go upstairs. Okay. Also, when you're looking at this bike and you're done building it, maybe give it a shake. You're starting to look at the brakes, make sure everything is lined up. Okay, you're giving it like a final inspection, okay? Because someone's going to come back behind me and inspect it again. Okay? Like any other inspection, you want to catch it before it goes out to the customer. I've got a little hook here on this harness. I can open this up and I can clip the two harnesses together like this. Okay, and that gives it a nice clean look. Alright guys, that concludes our build here on the Aventon Soltera. Fly on the wall bike builds, strictly e-bikes. Check us out online. Have a good one.